Yeah, I don't have any idea how long this video is going to be, but what I'm going to do here is kind of go through the logic and the thinking of the average person when they decide that they're going to sing something or make some music and then kind of put it out there in the world nowadays. Because back when I was a kid, 70s and stuff like that, you had to find yourself a manager, you had to be willing to sing on street corners, you had to be willing to do everything yourself or have someone do it for you. Now, the thing is that back then, you could do everything yourself. If you wanted to sing on street corners, you just went ahead and did it. The only thing that was stopping you was the city itself, the government, your own government. Yeah, it's kind of weird. This is a weird metaphor, but it's actually really true. The only thing stopping you is yourself, because people are the government, and the only thing stopping you from just walking outside and start playing your guitar on the street corner is your government, and you are the government. So yeah, it follows. Now the thing is that if I am thinking about just I want to go sing outside and sing in public for pennies and nickels. There's nothing really stopping me from having that mental set that I want to do this. The only thing that I may have to follow some rules and regulations in order to do so, but in most cases it's going to be a very minimal cost. In some cities like Berlin, if you're going to have an amplified let's talk about buskers because that's the easiest example. If you're going to be a busker and you're going to have a amplified music system, then you have to pay a fee and you have to register with the city of Berlin that you are going to be playing amplified music in a open public venue. But if you decide that one day, hey, I'm just going to go to the park, or I'm just going to get a folding chair and go out and sit out in front of my apartment and play my guitar, you can do that. As long as and you can put a cup out there, you can say, hey, I'm going to pay my rent, I'm going to walk outside my apartment, I'm going to sit right there every morning and with my little folding chair and my guitar, and I'm going to pay my rent with this tin cup. So yeah, you can tin cup it. As long as your neighbors don't complain, as long as you're reasonable about where you are in the time periods and the sound levels that you hold up, there's nothing really stopping you. And, okay, so you say, okay, it's pennies here and there. So let's compare that little bit of scenario to putting your song out to some places like Soundcloud, virtual street corners. Instead of just going outside your apartment, you're going to go to a street. You're going to go to SoundCloud Avenue. You're going to go to Spotify Street. And you're going to go there and you sit down there. But when you get to those streets, it's not like walking outside to your apartment. When you get to Spotify Street, they say, hey, this is our street. You have to pay us first if you want to sing here. And of course, being from a different neighborhood, you say, okay, yeah, well, maybe I'll pay your fee. I mean, if people started singing in my neighborhood in front of my house, and I would want them to pay me a little bit too. So you say, okay, yeah, I'm going to do that. And then you say, okay, and then you're going to pay SoundCloud Avenue also, so you can sing there. Now, the difference between paying these people for their venues, their street corners, and and actually having following the law, which says that you have to follow certain regulations, is that the people on these streets, they don't have regulations, they don't have any rules. The only rule is you pay them, and that's pretty much what SoundCloud and Spotify are. They don't have any real rules. They just want you to pay them, and that is the basic difference. And now we've gone 4 minutes into this video, and I still haven't really made my point. My point is that I've already explained this thing with busking, but now let's try and do this virtually. Now, the first time I have my web browser open here, and I have a SoundCloud I googled SoundCloud and it says stream and listen to music. Pressed on the button and then I go to SoundCloud. I see a little big banner that says for creators. I'm gonna be a creator. You know, the thing is, this is also a second point. I don't want to upload the best produced sound or the best production or loud or some super original song. I want to upload exactly what I would be singing if I was on a street corner. If I had a song that I wrote and I was on the street corner, I don't want to go through $2,000 worth of home studio equipment and everything else. I just want to be able to say, okay, yeah, this is my guitar, here's a microphone and everything else, just like I would if I was on the street corner in front of my apartment. I want to be able to sit down and do that and just say, hey, yeah, I'm going to jam for a minute, record it, and then I'm going to put that out there. Just like if someone was walking by, they would hear me singing the song. So yeah, I want to upload something to SoundCloud, and I'm not really expecting it to be a hit or anything like that. I'm just wanting it to be pedestrian. Now, okay, so the first thing is that there's always this thing. I'm a web developer, and there's always this thing about marketing in the web that I have to explain something. The marketing on the web is like it's like this maze that DiCaprio asked this woman to make on Inception, and you're gonna always find out that there is a maze there, but you don't know the names of the turns to get through the maze. You get to the maze and it has arrows left and right, and then so you take a left arrow and a right arrow, but suddenly when you get into the maze, there's no arrows left or right anymore. Suddenly you see a word, and the word says left or right. Now, if that word is something that you understand, if it's in a language you understand, then you'll just go left or right, the same as you would with arrows. But if that word is something that's totally foreign to you, something you've never come across before, you don't know whether to go left or right. And this is where they catch you on web design and web and marketing. Because when you go to SoundCloud's website, the first thing you see you want to be a creator. You click on creator, and that's the arrow left or right. So you get the arrow left or right for creators, and then suddenly instead of left or right, they have this thing where you have to start understanding a whole list of things. And now the only thing I want to do is I just want to get those pennies into my cup. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on it says Monetizing on SoundCloud. And I'm just going to click on that. Okay, so now we have how to monetize on SoundCloud. If you create on SoundCloud, you can get paid for your uploads, okay? So far, still, we're back to this thing where you have it progressively, instead of left and right, progressively, the list of words that you have to understand in order to get through this maze is going to be longer. Instead of left, right, now you're going to have left, right, center, middle, up, down, right, left, 8, 9. You have 7 or 8 different list of functions that you have to do, and this is where we're reaching right here. Now it says, how do you monetize on SoundCloud? You can watch a video. Who can monetize with SoundCloud Premiere? And now, right there, that catches my eye, because until this point, there was no talk of a SoundCloud Premiere. It was just said for creators. So yeah, I followed that maze and that trail there, and now I come right up against the very first words saying that where I am is not where I want to be, because I don't want to be in SoundCloud Premiere. I just want to be a creator and upload my music and have someone possibly pay me a few cents here and there for that. A virtual 10 cup. But it doesn't seem like I can create that because I have to have a Premiere SoundCloud. So, okay. And who can monetize with SoundCloud Premiere? I didn't know that existed until now, so I don't really care who can or cannot. Why? Okay, now why you should monetize with SoundCloud Premiere? None of this stuff is on the front page of under creators. This is all hidden on the next page. Okay, now it's okay. Let's go down to the very last source of information: how monetizing with SoundCloud Premiere works. Okay, so I click on that. Big picture, you'll receive a share of revenue based on eligible countries. Okay, so you have to, now it's not a matter of what street you're on. But now, you know this thing where you can find the name of one street, and then in every town across the world or across the globe, you can find that same street name in all of these cities. So now what they're doing is you're on the right street, but it has the right name. But now they're gonna ask you, what city are you gonna be in? Okay. And depending on what city you're in, then you might be able to make some money or not make some money. Okay, it says with fan-powered royalties, a lot of blah, 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 dedicated fans who stream your music, everything else. This is all nonsense. Okay, industry-leading payout model. Okay, please note any payout. Okay, so now I've read approximately 200 words about how monetizing with SoundCloud Premiere works. And it hasn't told me how it works. I just have a page that says, please note any money earned on tracks that have been disturbed. I'm gonna read the entire thing. What the hell? You'll receive a share-based rate. That means that plays used to calculate payments will differ from the total plays you see in the app. You can make sure you have monetization enabled by checking this respective track settings. With fan-powered royalties, you are paid fairly based on dedicated fans who stream your music. This is an industry-leading payout model that is more equitable and transparent than